Well, I've got something in front of me that I have no clue what I'm going to do with, but a lot of times I can just go to my wood stash, grab a piece of wood, and I know that's the one I want to turn. And I may not know what it's going to look like, but I know that's the one I want to turn. Today has not been one of those days. I started with grabbing a piece of catalpa. No, I don't want to turn that. I had a piece of ash. No, I don't want to turn that. Settled on a black walnut slab that I had. And I thought, well, I've been turning black walnut. I want to do this piece that I have been battling with myself on. What the heck am I going to do with it? Well, here it is. That's a piece of a maple burl. It's a cutoff. It's way longer than it is wide, and that's not so bad. That's what the underside is going to look like. And if I balance this out, the top's not balanced. What I need to do is set this up, get it balanced this way and this way, so I got even amount of wood on the ends, and then I'll block it up and I'll hot glue something on there, get a hole for a worm screw, we'll get it mounted up, and you're going to be right along with me on this one because I have no idea what I'm going to do. So let's take care of that. We'll get back and we'll turn it. Now I have no idea how balanced it is. And the other thing, I need to create a place to put the live center. But I'm just going to back away a little bit and just turn this like this. Well, that's not too bad. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what we're going to end up with, but it will be something. I went ahead and hot glued another block here just so I could get the live center against it, otherwise it would have hit down there. So, public service announcement. I don't recommend doing anything I'm doing on the underside of this. This is not how to turn something that looks totally impossible. This is how I'm going to do it. I just do not recommend it. So, that said, let's go ahead and see how it works out. Doing 480 RPM. I'm going to start with a 5/8 bowl gouge. So my plan is to get it to where I can get the center against the actual piece. So in order to do that, I need to keep taking some of this off, continue that. Now we're going to do a little bit of that now. That's pretty loose. We'll get a new center on here. Well, I stopped. I've been looking at this for about 20 minutes trying to decide. Once you cut it away, you can't go back. But the tenon could be right there, and I'm thinking maybe the base here. And I like this a lot, but I'm not liking this so much. I think I'm going to taper this up that way. It might have two tapers with a little curve on it. It's going to lose some of this, but in the process, I think this should make this look better. So let's cut for a while, and then I'll stop and look at it again. I'll use my 1/2-inch bowl gouge here and just we'll nibble away at it. Well, I think I have it looking, well, I'd like to say as good as I can, but I think I have it looking okay. So I'm going to use a negative brick scraper, and I'm going to get this nice and cleaned up so I can see all the burling in it and see if I want to leave it the way it is or take a chance and cut more, exploring for better burls. But, you know, we don't want to get greedy. Alright, that is plenty good enough. Okay, let's size that down for a tenon now, and that's, yeah, we're going to almost have a full tenon. How about that? And then that's a line for the base. Alright, I think I'm going to go with this. I did a lot of stopping. I didn't show all that. And I just kept looking it over and deciding where to take wood off. So I'm going to go with this. And the sanding's not going to be any easier than the turning was, because I have equal amount of air for sanding as I did turning. I might be able to sand this with it running. I'm going to give it a try. About 450 RPM. 80 grit sandpaper. It's probably not doing a lot. It's bouncing a bit. Well, it actually sanded it okay. But I think when I get over here, it's going to do it like that. This is going to take a little time. I'll get it all sanded up to probably 400. I come back and we'll have it flipped around. Well, I've got it flipped around, and it is the next day. All the footage from the underside added up to 48 minutes plus, and most of it was stopping and looking where I was at and making sure that I didn't cut something away that I wanted to keep. But there wasn't really much I could do about it. It was just a matter of getting a shape on there that looked halfway decent. So, kind of have the same situation on this side, but at least the ends are defined. Really hasn't been anything taken off of these sides. So I just need to stay inside of this and create a shape, and I really like the idea of leaving these ends anyways. So I'm going to start with a 1/2 inch bowl gouge. We're doing about 700 RPM. Okay, I think I got a good start on following this angle down, and I'll just go ahead and remove everything we can here, and that's about all we can do. Still about 700 RPM. Wow, I think it looks pretty cool. Not too bad. Let's see what we have here. I got lots right there. We'll just keep cutting. I did drill the hole for the worm screw down to get about a 1/2 inch away from the bottom. That may be about where we're at there. I'm going to put a little light on this. There. Hey, I think we did it. Pretty much time to sand. I think that's all I need to do. It's nice and smooth. So, we're going to get set up and do some sanding. And I'm going to do something about trying to knock these down. Probably the Sandiflex with a little heavier grit. Let me get some things cleared out of the way and I'll be right back. I think I'll start with this little flap sander and just get the really sharp points off. Then I'll go over it with the Sandiflex and let it get down there and clean it up and maybe round them over slightly more. A little bit of that. I just want to take the real pokey things away. And this should help as well, and maybe get down and clean the wood up a little bit. Okay, and then do some sanding. That's pretty smooth, but I'll go ahead and start with 80 grit. And no reason we can't sand this under power like that. Well, it doesn't get any easier than sanding that shape right there, that's for sure. So I'll get that sanded to 400. I want to go over this area a little bit more with the Sandiflex, and then we'll come back and we'll put a coat of finish on it. Well, here it goes. I'm going to put a coat of shellac-based sanding sealer on it, and we should get a good idea what it's going to look like. I think it's going to look pretty nice. Nice and smooth. It was easy to sand the inside. Now, I got to do something with this outside. I'm going to see how this works with the little brush. As long as I don't put it on real thick somewhere, it's going to be fine. And this is going to take a while to get around here. So I'll go ahead and do this. Probably get 2 coats of the sealer on it, and more than likely I will use shellac for the finish. Well, not even more than likely, I will be using shellac for the finish. So I'll see you when I have all the finish on. Well, it's time to remove this tenon. I let the finish sit all night long, and part of the morning I've got it up against the block with some padded material and use my 1/2-inch bowl gouge, and we will start removing the tenon. Been about 675 RPM. Alright, we did it. Tried to run away, but we got it. A little sanding here and some finish on it, and we'll be all done. Well, here it is. It is all done. It finished 10.5 inches by 7 inches, and it's about 2 inches tall. It's kind of an odd shape, but I think it's pretty cool looking. I used 2 coats of Zinsser seal coat and 2 coats of Zinsser shellac, and then I buffed that out with the white abrasive pad. I think it left a pretty nice finish. It's got some really nice burling in it, and it's also got some inclusions, but I think it makes it look pretty cool, and I didn't fill any of those. And there's some on the bottom, and then you've got this unturned area here. This almost looks like a bat or an alien. I'm not sure. It's kind of semi-creepy looking, that's for sure. So I looked at this piece many times trying to figure out how am I going to turn it, because one side, if I kept it level, was a much steeper angle, and if I wanted to match that, then the part would have looked like this. So I decided, well, I know I'm going to have an area that doesn't get turned, and I'm sure glad I did it like that. But like I said, the reason I waited so long was I was afraid I'd end up turning this into sawdust. And I don't know if you've ever heard the joke, and I'll just use a wood turner in it. One wood turner says to the other one, he says, sometimes I make something nice. Most of the time I make sawdust. Well, I'm sure glad I didn't make sawdust out of this one, because I think it's pretty cool, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, do me a favor, click that like button and feel free to leave a comment. Both of those things will really help my channel grow. I do lots of different types of turnings, and you never know what might be next, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And a special thanks to all my current subscribers. You really mean a lot to me. So, till the next time, see you later.